Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of Love and Hip Hop. This is season 10, episode 2, and it was titled Good Trouble. Alright, y'all, before I jump into this recap review, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button along with the share button. Alright, yeah, I know it came on Monday and the day, Saturday, but child, yeah. I promise I'm gonna do the recap on Tuesday next week. But this week it was just kind of like, oh, I need to do I'll do it. Yeah. And then here we are. So let's just jump into it. So I'm gonna try to compile the people together because there really wasn't a lot of crossover or anything like that. So I'm just gonna keep the little groups together, if that makes sense. You know how I usually go per the episode, but I'm just gonna group them all together. Anyway, we're gonna start with Rashida and Kirk because that's how the episode started off. We see Rashida, she fixing her wig. Carter, he done got big child and he is not into homeschooling. He like, I've been waiting forever to get online and stuff. They like sit down at the computer, young fella. So he doing that. Then they start talking about how the bistro was closed per coronavirus for 4 months and stuff, and Rashida sits Kirk down because she wants to talk about the drama that's been popping off at the bistro. So you know they got the whole family in there working. They got all the churn and then the children girlfriends in there. So they got Kai, he the damn manager, which I feel as though he does not need to be manager. They got Kelsey, is it Kelsey? Yeah, Kelsey, she the bartender. Kirk Jr., he just doing the odds and ends, cleaning up and stuff like that. Kai's girlfriend is a server, and Kirk Jr.'s girlfriend is a server. And child, something popped off with the girlfriends. They got into a fight. Kelsey jumped into the fight, so then everybody fighting and stuff. Now everybody ain't talking, and how you not talking, and y'all running a business. So it's a lot of chaos and it's chaotic and stuff like that. Kirk like, well, we gonna have to nip this in the bud because I'm disappointed about what's going on at the bistro and stuff, and I'm gonna go talk to my accountant to see what's going on or whatever. So then we see him later on with the accountant. So he with the accountant, and the accountant tells him like, look, the bistro is struggling. Okay, y'all are in the red by like $1 million, and that's understandable. It's not so much related to the drama that's been going on at the bistro, which, Rashida and Kirk would like us to think is more so they just opened up a business. When you open up any type of restaurant, sometimes they don't do good in the first year. But also when they opened up, I want to say right after they opened up or a few months after they opened up, Rona happened. And so businesses were shutting down and stuff like that. So it's understandable as to why they may be in the red right now. And then the accountant was also saying like, it's a lot of inventory, y'all overbuying stock and stuff, and then there's a lot of spoilage going on, and that could have been because of coronavirus. Because what if they just put in an order? They wasn't thinking like the world was fitting to get shut down. Shit, like who knew the world was about to be shut down? So that could be they brought all this inventory, all the stuff they brought spoiled. So that could play into effect there, or whatever. So the accountant basically was telling Kirk that it got so serious they had to take the mask off, child. But here go Kirk, he want to tell him all about the fighting at the bistro and all. So I was saying, Kirk, what that got to do with anything? You just wanted to tell the story again, but whatever. The accountant says, I don't want y'all to give up on the bistro just yet. I think y'all can work through it and stuff like that. And I feel like they can work through it too. I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like they can work through it too, but they got to be open, and then they also got to have the right staff in the mix for them to make it work. So I don't feel like they should throw in the towel so far. I'm trying to just cross off so I don't be all lost and shit. Anyway, what was the last scene with them? The last scene was with them. I think they was at the bistro and they was having a family meeting or staff meeting or whatever like that. But it was more so like a family meeting because the family works in the damn business. Kirk giving this speech about we put our whole savings in this, and y'all gotta boop and then gotta get the boop and the boop. I say, first of all, I understand it's your family, but this is a business. So it's a business and then it's family. Okay. You shouldn't mix the two, but if you do, you still got to put in that role. Like, you the overseer, you the manager, you own the business. So why are you cussing at the staff? Like, no. Like, this is right now, this is business. These are not your children. These are your employees, okay? So you need to look at them as though they are your employees and not your children. And you need to take into account what needs to be done. Like, Kai should not be the damn manager at all. He should not be the manager. He has a temper. He can't talk to people. Even his sister Kelsey was like, I love my brother to death, but it cannot be professional. Like, if he not feeling something going a certain way, he just pops off or whatever. Like, his attitude ain't ish right now. So he even exhibited that by they started talking and stuff like that, and then he got up and walked away and stuff, and they like, see, this is what we go through and stuff. And then who was it? Kirk Jr.'s girlfriend was like, well, I wanted to get some tables or something. I went to ask him, the manager, and he want to pop off and tell me to go ask Kirk Jr. and yada, yada, yada. No, I'm asking you because you the manager. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you got hard feelings for me. I don't give a beep what your problem is with me, but as my boss, you want to treat me as, with respect as the damn employee. You're not going to come off and pop off at me like that or act all crazy because your feelings is hurt. Like, no. So he don't need to be the manager. And Kirk Jr., well, not Junior, Kirk Sr. was like, well, if they don't want to be here, then I'm not going to force them to be here. But to me, it seemed like you forced them to be here. And Rashida said the same thing. And my thing is like, but y'all really are forcing these children to be there, and they don't seem to want to be there. Kai even said he don't want to be the manager. It's putting the rift between him and his siblings and stuff like that, because they get to live their life while he managing shit. And you know, a manager's job don't really end when the business closed. They got to stay on task and stuff like that. And he just want to live his life. Like, these are young adults. They should be grateful that they have this opportunity to run the business and get these skills, and they didn't really have the skills to be in the positions that they are in. They should be happy, but if this is not what they want to do, and this is not where they wanted to be at, then like, let them go. Like, hire somebody who wants that job. Hire somebody who knows how to be a manager and be professional and stuff like that, and not your children. Like, and then Kirk gonna talk about something. If anything else pop off, then that's it, y'all fired. First of all, when that shit popped off in the damn restaurant the first time, they all should have been let go. All should have been let go. I don't care if these your children. They fighting in the place of business. They is unprofessional. There is zero tolerance. You gone. Like, point blank, period. But look, that's just me. Y'all let me know what y'all feel about it in the comments. That was pretty much it for Rashida and them. Now we met a new girl. I'm ready to agree. Like, you could tell she was born and raised in Atlanta. She got that Atlanta dialect. That thing is so thick. I was just watching her talk. I love like country accent. I love any type of accent. But like, when they be, I was like, God dang. At one point they even had to put subtitles, but I was like, I can understand what she's saying. But her accent is so thick. But she is obviously a well-known rapper down there in Atlanta. I live all the way up in here in Virginia, but she's a well-known rapper down in Atlanta. She was on the radio and they was talking about how she the, best rapper in the area or whatever like that. And she's been managing herself for the last 4 years. She's saying that she did have like a managing team or something like that at one point, but they want her to dress up, wear blonde hair, wear heels, have her boobs hoisted and stuff like that. And she's not into that. She says she a tomboy and she want to dress the way she want to dress. So she not really with the whole management team type thing because they want to change her. And that's understandable. Like, just be you. Like, I don't understand why she can't have a management team and she just dressed the way she want to goddamn dress, because, like, what's the problem? Like, everybody don't want to have that damn titties hoisted and all this other shit. And she should be able to wear sneakers and whatever the hell she want to wear. Like, what she had on, she had like on what did she have on? A jersey, I think, like a baseball jersey type shirt, and like some little like I was about to say spool shorts. What's a spool? What's a spool, child? Or a spool is something you put the Anyway, she had on some like little basketball shorts and some sneakers. What's wrong with her wearing that if that's what she comfortable in? Everybody don't wear heels. Anyway, she was at one of her signings and stuff because she said she had to take a break for her mental health for a little bit, but then she back with her new single Doing the Most, and she had like a little signing for that. What was her name? Young Baby Tate. She showed up and she said that her and Amaretta the Great had been talking back and forth on Instagram because they from Atlanta and stuff like that. So they really gelled, they really clicked and stuff like that. So, young baby Tate was telling her like, look, I'm gonna be in the studio tomorrow. You should, come through or whatever. So she did. She ended up coming through or whatever. They was just chatting and stuff. And young baby Tate was telling her like what she got planned and whatnot, because she going to LA to do some business, and then she got a dude out there, so she gonna get some business. And then they was laughing about that. And then Amaretta the Great was telling her like how her mom at one point was her manager, and they was clashing, like boom, 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 clashing and stuff like that. So she had to end up firing her mama. She was like, you ain't feel bad, girl? She was like, hell no. I was cracking up. And then she was saying like her mom didn't really have like a good relationship because her mom wasn't there for her emotionally and stuff like that. And they was just, again, like just chatting and stuff like that. And they was both saying how grateful they are to be where they are right now. So then we see Amaretta later. She in the house, child. She trying to cook up some damn tacos. She put butter in the pan. Her mama comes up. She like, girl, why you got butter in the pan? Meat make their own grease and stuff like that. But it looked like, to her defense, it looked like she was using turkey meat. So turkey meat can kind of be dry. So you do gotta put a little oil in the pan and stuff like that. It didn't look like she was using ground beef. So cause at first I was like, well, why she ground beef with the butter? But then it looked like she was eating turkey meat. So I was like, oh, okay, girl, I understand. She was making some tacos and stuff like that. Tacos is good on a Tuesday with the turkey meat. So she had the turkey taco Tuesday. That's cute. Anyway, her mama was talking to her. And her mom was like, you made a diss track about your mama. You don't feel bad? She was like, no. The song was basically about the toxic relationship her mom had with this guy. Her dad died when she was 1 year old. So she, never grew up with her dad or anything like that. But her mom moved in this dude, and he was apparently abusive. He was disrespectful. He was all these things. And it put a wedge between her and her mama. And so she made a song about that. So her mom felt some type of way about that, and they really still have not been on the same page. She go outside to talk to her mom. Her mom was saying, because Amaretta was like, you chose that man over your children, and I feel some type of way about that. Her mom was like, I didn't choose him over y'all and stuff. You just stubborn and you spoiled and stuff like that. And Amaretta was like, well, he was disrespectful and abusive. Her mom was like, yeah, he was, but I ain't choose him and yada yada yada. So she was just basically like, the mom was in denial basically. And Amaretta like, well, tell my mama get on the same page and feel as though like she was wrong and come to terms with her being wrong and not me being delusional or stubborn or spoiled, we're not going to see eye to eye. And that's pretty much how it ended. She went back in the house, child. She was like, I ain't got time for this bullshit with my mama. Then real quick, we saw Erica. So Erica was talking to her older sister. Her older sister came in town, and Erica was telling her older sister about what's going on between her and Safari and stuff like that. And then her sister was like, well, how was your doctor's appointment? And so she was like, girl, look. So she showed her the video. It is a sonogram. So she was like, oh my God, you pregnant? Like how many weeks? She was like, I'm 23 weeks. She was like, girl, you don't even look like you pregnant. She was like, yeah, because I've been stressed about my husband. I've been focused on my marriage and stuff like that. I didn't even realize that I was pregnant. I ain't had no symptoms. My period was still coming on. Like everything was going on. I'm due July 18th. The sister was like, oh my God. She was like, well, have you told Safari? She was like, no, because I don't know what he gonna say. Like either he gonna say it's a mistake or he gonna say it's a disappointment. Or the worst mistake he ever made in his life. And so, she started crying and stuff. And her sister was like, well, children are our blessings and stuff like that. And I was like, girl, children do not make a marriage stick. People be, child, it be people in rocky relationships who want to have children or get pregnant and all this other stuff, thinking they going to keep their man or their woman, and no, they be still deuce out, still being an asshole. And no, children do not make a relationship stick. Like, if you don't have the foundation beforehand, that relationship is not going to be better just because you popped out a baby or whatever. And Safari keeps saying, like, everything's so hard. My thing is, did you think having children was easy? If that was the case, everybody be having children and everybody be raising their goddamn kids. Like, he need to get over himself. Like, is he just upset because the attention ain't on him no more? That's what I feel like. I'm like, come on now, yo. You had to know that having children was not no easy walk in the like, come on now. Child. But anyway, the sister was like, well, you strong, and I know you don't want to be alone and stuff like that, but you gotta tell him, and we gonna be here for you or whatever like that. And she was just like, girl, just pray for your husband, pretty much. Just pray for him. So that's how they ended with that. With Yandy. So we see Yandy. She is going to Kentucky with Mendeecees, and again, it's for the 1 year anniversary of Breonna Taylor. And basically their scenes was just kind of telling us like what was going on in the world at that time that they was filming, and you know what's still going on in the world today, but more so what was going on at that time, how they was having marches in Kentucky and stuff for justice for Breonna Taylor, because as we know, justice still has not been done for her or anything like that, even though we still keeping her name alive and rallying and having a protest and all this other stuff. Justice still has not been done. So her scenes were just kind of putting that message out there, putting that information out there. They ended up having a press conference to, you know, let their position be known, what they were going to be doing for the weekend and stuff like that. Breonna Taylor's mother spoke at the press conference, and then we found out like Mendeecees went down there with Yandy because he wanted to support, you know, the cause and support his wife. But he's on probation. So if he gets locked up, he'll go to jail, I guess to finish his term. Because wasn't he in jail for only like 4 years? And he was supposed to do like 8 or 10. I'm not sure on the numbers. But if he gets caught and gets locked back up, he'll have to go back to jail and complete the remainder of his time. So he's kind of worried about that and concerned about that. But he wants to make sure Yandy is safe because he doesn't want her to get locked back up. And he wants to show his children like they can use their voice. And when he was in jail, he said the CEOs told him like, look, use your voice out here, man, because like we can, because we don't want to lose our jobs and stuff like that. But y'all can, when y'all get out, y'all can tell what was going on in the prison system. Y'all can say how these things need to change and stuff like that. So go out there and use your voice. So he wants to use his voice and stand up for the people in prison, and also get justice for Breonna Taylor and justice for all the other slain victims out there by the hands of the cops, or in Trayvon Taylor's, I said Trayvon Taylor, in Trayvon's case, he was shot by, I'm not even going to say old dude's name, but y'all know. So, but the majority of them were, let me just see. Yes, the majority of them were killed by the cops. That was the only, I want to say, no, that wasn't the only case, but the majority of them were by the hands of the cops. So they just want to get that message out there. We see Young Jock, he arrives in Kentucky, and he was just saying like the same things, like how you can't even be sleeping in your own bed. You can't even be safe in your own home. Not even your own bed, because we've seen other situations where the damn woman was just cooking with her nephew and they kicked in the door and shot her up because her front door was open, and instead of just knocking on the door to see if everything was okay, they go kicking in the door, shooting and shit. Like the fuck? Like you wouldn't do that in no white neighborhood or nothing like that. You would knock on the door and do a wellness check like any fucking normal. I'm sorry. No. So, he was just going, I'm sorry, y'all, because that's why I don't like talk about this. That's the stuff makes me so angry. because it's like we can't even go like we can't even do nothing. You can't even be safe in your own home. You can't even be safe on the street. But then you think, okay, I'm in my own home, so I should be safe. But no, you can't even be safe in your own goddamn home. The damn man walking into his own apartment getting killed. Like, come on, yo. So that's basically what Jock was saying. And then he was talking with the co-founder and Mendici. They was walking down the street, and the co-founder, Masan, I'm probably not saying his name right, Masani, Mysonne. I'm not sure how you say his name, so I'm not gonna mess it up. But he was saying how, he's the co-founder of Intel Free, and he did 7 years in jail, and when he got out, he was before, when he was in jail, he was saying like what we already know, like black people being charged and held in prison for 30 years, and then white people going in and being held for 5 years, and they did the same exact effing crime. So yeah, so when he got out, he wanted to do some justice and stuff like that, because it's bullshit. And that's when Mendici was saying like the guards told him to, use his voice and stuff like that. I should stop calling this man Young Jock. Jock was worried about, getting arrested and stuff like that. But Masan, he was saying like, they had lawyers on retainer and stuff like that. Jock was like, can I get that so I can have that number in speech? I'm like, I know that's right. And then we saw Carly. She arrived for the same reason. She was happy to be a part of something and again get Breonna Taylor's name out there. They ended up having like this big dinner for everybody, like Intel Free, because they've been so active and so involved in everything. They haven't really had a chance to just relax a little bit. So they had a party for them to relax, and it was at the Muhammad Ali Center. It's not a civil rights center. It's the Muhammad Ali something. I think it's the center. I kept missing it. But Muhammad Ali's cousin, he was there giving a speech and saying how, Muhammad Ali tried to sit at a diner, and even though he was like this world boxer and stuff, had this big medal around his neck, he wasn't even allowed to sit at the damn diner counter. And he like, well, what am I wearing this medal for if we not free? Like, it's just, oh God, child. Breonna Taylor mama started talking. Oh my God, I got so emotional, because it's just like, I have 3 children, and I cannot even imagine getting a phone call about my kid and they were safely in their home sleeping. You know what I'm saying? And you just still like, what? Like, and then she kept saying, it just don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, I cannot even imagine receiving that phone call. And then to find out that it was the wrong house, the wrong everything. Child, but they was telling her how strong she was, and she is a very strong woman, because I probably would just be in the bed the rest of my life, like legit. I just can't even imagine, but she is really strong, and prayers and hugs and love just go out to that woman. Like, child, and she started crying. Whew. And the end of the show, they had the big march, they had the big protest. It was so many people out there, black, white. It was so many people coming together to just bring justice for Breonna Taylor and have her name just out there so people can know like who this woman was, like who this bright sunshine was. And it was just so freaking beautiful just to see that on camera. Jock gave a speech. Portia, she gave a speech. Yandy, Tamika, who is the founder of Intel Free, she gave us, like, everybody gave speeches, and then they just marched in the streets. And then at one point, Yandy had to tell Mendici, like, this may be where you want to step off to the curb, because if the cops tell us we can't go through, we gonna go through, and then they might lock us up. But it didn't look like it was any issues, or what they did. I mean, I don't know. They didn't show that there was any issues, because they kept rolling and stuff like that. And then Mendici was still walking with them. So I don't know if there was any issues, but we didn't see it. They didn't show it on camera. And that's pretty much how the episode ended, y'all. Oh my God. That episode was so freaking heavy, but it was just good. And I'm glad that the cameras was there in Kentucky to film that and to get her name still out there in the streets, because her name needs to be said. So at any rate, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. It was really, really heavy. Yeah, it was really heavy, but and emotional. So y'all just let me know what y'all felt about the video. I mean, not the video, the episode. And if y'all like this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me along with the notification bell. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.